All right, everybody, welcome back to Miami Dolphins Syndicate. Jacob Donovan back here in the studio, and we're not really excited. This is not a time that we've been enjoying these last few weeks. Dolphins, of course, 5-game losing streak now, going to play the New York Jets. What's his face? Mike White.
Flacco.
A Mike White, Zach Wilson-less New York Jets, and yes, like you just said, Joe Flacco getting the start.
Yeah, Joe Flacco gets the start. Mike White re-injured his ribs early in the Seattle game. I was going to say first drive, but I'm not 100% sure. It was early in the Seattle game. Injured his ribs again, somehow got through that game, and then they said he deteriorated throughout this week and ended up being out. They're starting Joe Flacco because they kind of want to just like kick Wilson to the curb until next year. They want him to get a...
They don't want anything else on tape that they're like, okay, this guy sucks.
I'm not sure if it's that... I mean, Robert Saleh, he came out and said, he's like, we want him to get away from football for a little bit. So that tells me he shouldn't even be the backup in this game, but he's listed as the backup. I think it should be Streveler.
I was about to say, do you really want Streveler as a backup? Like, we saw him play.
He played fairly well.
No, he did not.
I mean, he
missed a wide open touchdown.
For a fourth-string quarterback that was undrafted, whatever.
He was a running back.
Bro, I mean, look, he was...
I'd rather have Mike Lennon playing.
Please don't speak that into existence. We haven't had a backup quarterback actually finish a start.
We obviously just talk about the Jets' issues, but ours are just as bad, if not worse, because I trust our number one a lot better than Jets' number one. Tua not playing. Teddy Bridgewater, he's apparently going to back up Skylar Thompson, even though he still probably has an injury, so he's not healthy enough to start, but he's healthy enough to be off the bench. Now, something I know that you say is, like, Mike McDaniel likes to have that emphasis on preparation. Skylar has gotten all the first-team reps so far. Give it to him, let that roll, rather than throw Teddy Bridgewater, who hasn't had that same preparation. I'm not sure if I exactly agree with that, but what do you think?
No, I'm going with that because, I mean, Teddy hasn't been able to really practice. He's been throwing like 5 to 10 yards almost all week. It was just really yesterday he started throwing a little bit further down the field. And so Skylar got all those first-team reps, and you got to think, so Teddy knows the system, so he's going to be better than Mike Lennon. But do you really trust Teddy with a feint grip on the ball over Skylar Thompson?
No, not really.
I mean, it was pretty close. Like, Dolphins fans were kind of like in between Skylar and Teddy on who should really be the backup, and that's not something we should really be worrying about.
I don't think that was a good argument anyways, because I won't say I was always, but as the season went on, I was more pro Teddy than I was Skylar. He's the experienced backup. He's done it around the league. He had a great time with the Saints. Hasn't had such a good time as a starter in other locations, been with Carolina, with Denver. But he's some experience. And you give him Tyreek Hill, you give him Jalen Waddle, and he plays more than, 3 snaps that he did the first time against the Jets. I trust him in these situations just to get the job done. Now, that pass, you interception and the finger getting jacked up, yeah, he's not ready for this game. But I'm just going to say, I don't feel good. Like we've been you and I have been talking. We've been talking all week.
All week, pretty much, yeah.
Ever since we lost last week about this week, and then the Jets losing, they're eliminated from the playoffs. I still don't feel good. I don't feel like we're gonna beat the Jets.
See, I don't want to say like, hey, we're gonna go out in there and crush them, or hey,
I definitely won't say that.
Or hey, we're gonna get absolutely demolished. But this is really going to just come down to defenses and which offense makes the most mistakes, because both offenses, I mean, they have good receivers. Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis are good. Actually, Corey Davis is out, but they have good receivers over there with Garrett Wilson in them and C.J. Uzomah. And then on our side, we have Tyreek Hill and Waddle and the other plethora of
trash receivers.
Sherfield's actually decent.
Sherfield's decent. Everybody else is bad.
Gesicki's not bad.
Wilson.
He just doesn't get the...
Gesicki's bad.
Gesicki's not bad.
Gesicki's trash.
Gesicki's not bad.
He's hot garbage. I'd rather have Durham Smythe on the team.
No.
I think Durham Smythe deserves more money than Mike Gesicki.
That's false.
He's an extra offensive lineman.
Honestly, can we put him at left tackle?
Screw it. If Tebow can play tight end, why can't Durham Smythe play tackle?
Exactly. We remember that Giants story where like two of their tight ends went out and then their backup or their starting left tackle went out, and so they told the third string tight end, like, hey, if what's his face is it goes down, you're gonna play tackle, and then they're like, oh, and David Carr's gonna be playing tight end.
Oh my gosh.
In the Super Bowl.
What?
Yeah, that was the Super Bowl when David Carr was the backup.
Which Super Bowl?
I believe it was the first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, I mean, I definitely don't want Gesicki at left tackle. I think I'd rather have you at left tackle than Gesicki.
Gesicki's definitely a better blocker than me.
Honestly, I don't know if that's true. I mean, I know you're like what 5'11", so
I'm 6 foot, sir.
He's 5'11". He went to the doctors and they said he's 5'11".
I went to the doctors and they measured me, and I'm 6 foot, almost 6'1".
Where's the proof?
And this man, because he's like 6'6", decides like, oh, hey, you're like 6'6".
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny you say it again because you're short.
Not everybody's 6'6", bro. The majority of people are actually shorter than me.
Yeah, so the majority of people are short.
Yes, but I am taller than the majority.
Like you're 5'11".
The average height is 5'10". I'm 6 foot, almost 6'1". Tua is 6'1". Okay.
He's definitely the type of guy that has 6 foot in his Tinder bio. 100%.
No. I don't have Tinder, actually. I deleted it.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Anyways.
You ran out of girls in a 70-mile radius.
70-mile radius.
I mean, you live in the middle of nowhere.
It was a 5-mile radius. Thank you very much.
What, you're trying to match with like alligators and peacocks or something?
Yes, exactly.
Just for clarification, he literally lives in the middle of nowhere.
I do. But literally hey, it's developing. So, anyways, back to the football.
Tua's brain cells are developing right now?
Tua's brain cells are coming back to him.
Are we sure? Not
really.
He might come
back.
So
he is out of practice today. So speaking of that, he is out of practice today, Friday. And so with that, he cannot clear concussion protocol on time to be active for the game. He would need to have a limited practice, then a full practice before he can be cleared from concussion protocol. So he is not going to be cleared on time. Therefore, he is out on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, we haven't heard any positive updates about him over the last 2 weeks.
Every single, and you know what, it might be because the NFL is watching closely, and it's just like every single time they ask, they're like, hey, he's focusing on today, and that's it. He's not focusing on tomorrow, he's not focusing on the game, he's focusing on today. So, hopefully by Monday he's cleared, if, everything works out Sunday.
If we lose, do you think he's played his last snap as a Dolphin?
If we lose,
just for what we know now, do you think he's played his last snap as a Dolphin?
I would say I'm like 25% on the no and like 75% on the yes. And that's
a weird way you put that.
Yeah, I know. So
but I'm
so the thing
I'm actually less towards yes than you are, but I'm still majority yes. I think if we lose, he's played his last snap. Like obviously, us losing the game wouldn't be his fault, but I think we've seen enough.
But I mean, I can't say we've seen enough because we do know he has the ability, and it's really just him knowing when to go down and protecting himself.
We also see he has the ability to beat mediocre to trash teams, and then we come against 4 good teams in a row and lose to all 4 of those teams.
That's also partially against the 49ers, we couldn't stop a 7th round rookie. Okay, yeah, Brock Purdy's done really good so far, but what teams has he beaten? Like they haven't played really good, fantastic teams. They haven't.
But he's in a system that you just have to get it done. He's playing exactly like Garoppolo would play in the system right now.
That is true, and also if you go, they throw a lot more screens than we do, and I've been preaching since probably the Lions game. Like, hey, we need to start incorporating these checkdowns, and like even when we were watching the Patriots game this past Sunday, I texted you, hey, look, Teddy threw a checkdown. It's about time.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like how many wide receiver screens we did under the Adam Gase regime. And then even with Brian Flores, it was getting ridiculous how many wide receiver screens because they just flat out wouldn't work.
And then now it's the complete opposite side of the spectrum.
We never do it, but you give Tyreek Hill 3 blockers in front of him, he's going to go get you like 10 yards. But we don't throw anything really anymore within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And the thing is that all of our plays, they're designed to kind of like make you think, oh, he might actually go here and catch a screen. Like we have the bunch formation and then Tyreek roll around behind them, but then Tyreek Hill just runs a go route.
Yeah.
And they do that constantly to the point, well, now they're not going to respect the screen.
And we're going to have to be a little bit more creative this week because you are going against one of the best cornerback pairings in all of the NFL.
They really have a good 3 deep. Like I would say that, between Sauce, DJ, and their other corner, Carter, between those 3, they can honestly pair up next to like X, Byron, and Needham. Like, so our top 3 healthy corners, I would say they're almost as good, if not as good, as those 3.
And we've seen them come against some very good wide receivers this year. We've seen them come against Stephon Diggs, gave him a lot of fits in our own division. And now coming against Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and then Skylar Thompson, rookie throwing to them. There's just a lot I don't feel good about going into this game. The 5-game losing streak, all the injuries, Teron Armstead's a maybe, Xavier Howard's probably going to play, Bradley Chubb's probably going to play. But even then, they're still maybes. They haven't practiced a lot in the last 2 weeks.
Going to be in a cast still.
Yeah, hopefully Skyler's not going to throw him another pass.
That was the design pass to him though, so that's more on.
I don't think it was a design. No,
that was not a check down.
That
was a design pass.
That's a check down.
Given the pass was supposed to be in his chest so he can catch it like this.
He's like,
and he threw it to like literally his club side. Jason Pierre-Paul has more friggin' fingers out there.
Hey, I said that. That's my line I said during the game. There's not a lot I feel comfortable about. And then for the Jets on offense, that is kind of one bright spark that you feel the Dolphins could have success because the defense hasn't been a strong suit for the team. But the Jets, ever since Breece Hall's gone down, this offense has been horrible. They can't run the ball. They've been one of the worst rushing teams in the league since Breece Hall's injury. And now you have Joe Flacco, who had some success with this offense, like back in week 2 when Zach Wilson was still out when they played the Cleveland Browns. I think we have a little bit better defense.
They still had Breece Hall.
And they still had Breece Hall back then. But, he didn't really come onto the scene until like week 4, week 5.
Yeah.
So he didn't really do anything in that game.
But also in that little bunch is the fact that they're going to be missing 3 of their starting offensive linemen.
That is also true. So then it gets even better for us in the offense.
So having a non-mobile quarterback back there helps a lot.
Yeah, our defense hasn't been great this year. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about how our defense is going to play. It kind of is reverting back to last year's mentality. We're like, I'm not worried how the defense is going to play. I'm worried where we're going to score points.
Given if I see Keon Crossan out there on Garrett Wilson, I'm going to strangle Josh Boyer.
Listen, if we lose, we have to find him. I'm not even claiming anything. Just find him and just kindly escort him out of the city of Miami, and he's free to roam the rest of the world. Just never
Boyer
in 305.
Crossan.
Both.
How about Eric Rowe? Him too?
I
know you're not as down on Eric Rowe as I am.
He's not good. I'm not going to in any way say he's good, but like he hasn't had as many like
he gave up that
bash your head into a wall plays.
So the one that that was really just it for me, and given I've been saying I want him gone for like I don't know how many weeks now, but the one that was really it for me is when Igbo motioned across and he couldn't get across Eric Rowe because he didn't move out of his way. And he told him, hey, look, switch receivers. Eric Rowe said, nah, and then gave up the touchdown because he ended up getting pretty much a screen from Conklin.
Do you remember last week whose failed responsibility that was that led to the just loop-de-doop touchdown to Jacoby Myers?
Boyer.
But who was supposed to be, do we even know who was supposed to be on him there? Might as well make Christian Wilkins.
Bro, honestly. And people are trying to blame it on Duke Riley. Like, bro, that's not his... He was supposed to be rushing. He was supposed to be blitzing. Yeah. And he made... he's like, well, someone's got to go out there.
I honestly think I would trust Christian Wilkins in coverage more than I trust Duke Riley. Wilkins has an interception.
He does.
When he drops back, he's like... He has his head on a swivel. He's, He looks like
honestly, I trust Christian Wilkins more than I trust Atlanta Roberts. Yeah. But I wouldn't say more than Duke Riley.
I'd say him too.
But the thing, so our best covering linebacker is probably Channing Tindall, and he played like 5 snaps this whole season.
Yeah, He'll probably see more of the field next year if someone like Roberts walks, or even Jerome Baker if we don't bring him back.
Well, Baker's not a free agent, I don't think.
But I don't think he has a lot of guaranteed money left on his deal.
Yeah, but
if any,
and he hasn't actually played.
He hasn't. He has a lot of tackles. I think he leads the team in tackles, but that's not really a stat that like you want to.
I mean, he's mostly like the chase down guy. Like someone breaks out, he doesn't contain the corner. So after they break out the corner, he chases them down. Yeah. But
he's just been the person who happens to be around the person with the ball, which probably means he allows a lot of passes over the middle and then corrects himself and makes the tackle.
It's mostly Roberts that allows it over the middle, and then he ends up getting the tackle. But Baker, like, his thing is that he'll be on you like glue, but he won't ever get his head turned around. Yeah. And that's how everybody always completes passes over him or gets a pass interference call. And that was my problem with Igbo last year, and then this year he started getting his head around more, and look what happened. He got a game-winning interception against the Steelers. Given he hasn't really played much since then.
Not really the same scenario, though. There was that play was going on for like 10 seconds. He was basically standing still.
He turned around
a little bit. But this game,
but yeah,
you actually
get my point.
You think we're going to win?
I do think we're going to win.
Please tell us why you think we're going to win.
Just because of Hill and Waddle, really. Like I don't think like the defenses are almost equally matched. So it comes down to who's going to be making the least amount of mistakes and who's going to. Now, given they have a veteran quarterback that probably won't turn the ball over too much, and we have a 7th-round rookie who will probably throw a couple interceptions. However, I think if we can get the ball into Hill or Waddle's hands, they can make something happen. We can score a touchdown or two. And like I said, I think this is going to be very, very, very low scoring. Like, I honestly think my prediction is going to be like 14-6. Like, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to go 13-6. I say, and
Jason Sanders missed a field goal,
and Sanders is missing a field goal. No. I'm saying he hits 2 out of 3.
Oh, jeez. I wouldn't rather do that. Okay, so you're even more optimistic than I am. First, I agree. I think it's going to be a low scoring. I think it's going to be a bad football game.
It really is.
I think it's going to be a very bad football game.
These offenses are going to be so bad.
Yeah. No, neither team can really run the ball that well. The Dolphins' second half of the season is running a little bit better, but neither team can really do it. Both teams are down to their third-string quarterback. I'm sorry. I think we're going to lose. I have zero confidence in this team. I don't think the Jets are better. I really don't. I think the Patriots are going to lose. I think the Steelers are making the playoffs. I think the Patriots are going to lose. I think we're going to lose. I think Scott Thompson, like you said, is going to throw a few interceptions. I think we're just not going to be able to find a way to score a touchdown, whereas Joe Flacco, he's not the best. But he's an experienced head in the NFL that, at the very least, I think he's going to find a way to score them a touchdown.
I am hoping that we can go ahead and get a fumble from him, like a sack fumble out of Flacco. I don't think we're going to get an interception out of him. He's too careful with the ball. He had like a 101 passer rating last time he played us. But, for the love of God, can we shadow Garrett Wilson, like, all game with, like, put X on Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
Like Elijah Moore, I'll put Kohu on him, and I'll feel comfortable with those two matchups, and just like keep Keon off. That is the good thing though, is that Keon probably won't get a lot of snaps because they don't really run a lot of 3 receiver sets.
I hope not. The least amount I have to see him and Igbo on the field, I feel a lot better. But even then, like I said, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna lose. You said what, 13-6?
I said 13-6. We're gonna win. Sanders misses a field goal.
I'm going to say 13-10 Jets win. I'm sorry.
Do you think that their offense goes down and scores last minute?
No. I think it's a Skylar Thompson interception that sets him up at like the 20-yard line. Again, why should I have any confidence? Obviously, Tyreek Hill and Waddle are great, but they have a third-string 25-year-old rookie throwing the ball. There's nothing on this field. I don't feel confident in McDaniel anymore. I haven't seen him make adjustments. We've been talking about this for weeks now. We haven't seen him make adjustments. First-time play caller. I understand he's going to grow into it. But the demise we've seen here in the last 5 weeks when we just come against good teams, I blame that on Tua. I blame that on the coach. I haven't seen enough that gives me any sort of confidence, even like a team with the Jets that have nothing to play for and on their third-string quarterback as well.
I do like the fact with Skylar Thompson that if he doesn't see like he's not an anticipation thrower. So it's not really timing based like it is with Tua. It's different. He has to see the receiver open, and what he does differently is that if he doesn't see him open, he runs the ball. And he is an efficient runner. We just have to make sure that we don't get these holding calls or illegal shifts. For the love of God, Tyreek Hill, if you run another illegal shift.
Let us know what you think down below. Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to make the playoffs? Please let us know. Give me some confidence. Like, obviously, he's not the most confident either, but at least he predicted a win. I predicted a loss. Let us know down below. Give me something.
We're going to get swept by the Jets. I swear to God.
We're going to get swept.
If we get swept by the Jets.
I think we are.
I think you're going to find me at the bottom of the helix, and not in a good way.
You'll make it there very quickly. Let us know what you think down below. Go Dolphins, I guess. Enjoy, cry, laugh. We'll find out what happens, I guess.